Everyone, and welcome to the second session of the Department of Tourism's webinar for scuba diving, also powered by ADEX. Right now, for the second session, we have such a special location. It's one of the jewels and the treasures of our country. And we also have several speakers lined up for you that are very exciting as well. So without further ado, may I introduce to you the Director of Region 7, Central Visayas. He's the Regional Director and Department of Tourism of Region 7. And more importantly, he's a scuba diver, so he shares our passion and advocacy about the ocean as well. Let me introduce to you Director Shahlimar Tamano.
Good afternoon, everyone.
His team has provided a video, so let's all take a step back and enjoy the presentation.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to Central Visayas. The region is located in Central Philippines, composed of the island provinces of Cebu, Bohol, Negros Oriental, and Siquijor. The main gateway to the region is the Mactan Cebu International Airport in Cebu. We also have other airports like the International Airport in Panglao, Bohol, an airport in Sibulan, in Negros Oriental, and a newly refurbished airport in Siquijor. Cebu Mactan has direct flights to 26 international destinations such as China, Japan, Korea, Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Malaysia, Dubai, and more. Cebu is also a gateway to other destinations in the country such as Manila, Clark, Palawan, Bicol, Boracay, Siargao, and more. So Cebu has 1,500 flights per week. In 2019, the region got 5.1 billion domestic visitors and 4.3 foreign tourists, making a total of an estimated 149 billion in tourism receipts in the region alone. Our top tourist markets in Central Visayas are 1, Korea, 2, China, Japan, 4, USA, 5, Taiwan, and so on. Here, it's a joint project between our office, DOT Central Visayas, and the local government of Lapu-Lapu City and our co-sponsors. Here we did measures to protect our environment through constant cleanups. In this next slide, we joined the mayor of the municipality of Panglao in Bohol in their year-long program, which is called Coral Planting along Alona Beach. We joined the reef rangers of the municipality of Panglao in planting corals, and the municipality showed us how they protect the environment. The municipality bought 2 new speedboats and created the reef rangers, probably one of the first in the country. In this photo, with the Commissioner of PCSSD, Bo Mancao, and our dive operator, we visit and inspect the municipality of Alegria, one of the lesser-known dive sites in the region, which we also continue to promote. In this photo, we supported the mayor of Daan Bantayan, where Malapascua is located. In this case, he had a 2 or 5 million project of installation of buoys in strategic places along Malapascua. Malapascua, as we all know, is famous for its treasure sharks. Connectivity for us is very important. It is part of our vision to connect all the dive sites to our main gateways, whether by plane, by land, and mostly, since we are islands, by boat. In the region, we partner closely with the Marina, which is really the maritime agency which licenses boats and pump boats. We work closely with the Philippine Coast Guard in order to make sure that our sites, our boats are safe. In the region, we make sure that our pump boats are accredited with the Department of Tourism, and we make sure that dive operators are all and will all be accredited with our PCSSG. Among others, we work closely with our local government, with our mayors, with our governors, with national agencies to make sure that the travels and visits of our divers and their families will be safe and sound. We help and assist our local government units in drafting health and safety protocols, diving protocols, traveling protocols when we open up to our local and domestic visitors. Aside from diving, of course, you can enjoy our other sites, which are very near our dive sites. World-class beaches, our canyoneering in the towns of Alegria and Bajan, our tarsiers in Bohol, our mountains in Negros, our falls in Siquijor, and many, many more. Also, this year, 2021, we celebrate our 500 years when our friends from Spain, Magellan, visited us exactly 500 years ago. Is that the last slide? And so we invite you, dear guests, to visit us, Central Visayas, the hub of diving in the country and probably in the world. Thank you.
Wow, what a beautiful presentation. And also, it really, really makes a difference that our conservation efforts also, it's not just tourism, but also ecotourism. I think we have another video coming up, so maybe we can transition to that one.
Today, I woke up below the surface, where I learned to face my fears and go with the flow. Appreciate the big. Today, I woke up below the surface, where I learned to face my fears and go with the flow. But it's when I came to appreciate the big and the small. Made new friends from all over and could no longer hide my true colors. That I knew I'd emerged a local.
Makalibay, no?
Wow, that's such an amazing video. Doesn't that want you want to visit Central Visayas right away? And for those who haven't been, that's so enticing, right? Okay, so again, I'd just like to remind everyone that we have a Q&A afterwards. So if you want to type up your questions, you can put it in the chat box or hold on to it later on and we can discuss that. So without further ado, let us move on to our next speakers. First up, we have the marketing and reservations of Magic Island. It will be very interesting to hear more about the tourism there and how we can find our way or book a trip. So may I please invite Ms. Cynthia Paters.
Thank you very much, Vanessa, and hi everybody. Thank you for being here.
I will share my screen in the meantime. I have a presentation for you ready to present our 2 dive resorts. So I'm not only going to talk about Moalboal, I'm also going to squeeze in a little bit of Anda in Bohol. So I have only 15 minutes, so I try to give as much information as I can. So let's not waste any more time and let's get started. So yeah, you heard already in the video just now, one of the best regions in the whole of the Philippines is the Visayas. And that's exactly where we are located. So if we zoom this in, we end up in Cebu and Bohol. You see the mandarin fish just above Moalboal, and that's where I'm gonna start first. Like you heard already, Cebu City has a big international airport, and from that airport, it's really easy to go to Moalboal, which is only 90 kilometers away. And then after a long, nice ride over the mountains, you end up here in our Magic Island Dive Resort. It's a small resort, a cozy resort. I can tell a lot, but let's start with the video first. I hope you could all hear the sound, or I hope it was not too disturbing. So yeah, anyway, the video shows a lot already. So we'll just go a little bit further into detail. Magic Island is a small and cozy resort. We only have 10 detached cottages. So we are perfectly for groups who would like to have a resort exclusive for themselves, or for those who would like to be far away from the mass tourism. But yeah, even though we are small, everything that you need is there. Also in the rooms, we have a split silent aircon. All the rooms are standard with a double bed, but we can set it up as a twin bed or put an extra bed if needed. You will have your own private bathroom with hot shower, of course, and a private balcony. On the resort itself, we have a bar, a restaurant, a massage area, and a small library as well. But of course, the most important part of the resort is the dive center, which, as you can see, only a few steps away from our amazing house reef. So our house reef, and that's exactly where the dive experience in Moalboal starts. The house reef is already a great beginning of your dive experience. The house reef has a wall of 60 meters deep and has actually all the critters already that you can find in Moalboal. But the most special part of our house reef is the mating mandarin fish, which you can find here every night during sunset. And it's just a great phenomenon to watch. So that's why it's also in our logo, definitely something that you need to see, and only a few steps away from our resort. But yeah, if the house reef is not enough for you, we have almost 30 other dive sites to choose from, all within 20 minutes away from our resort. We have 3 traditional banca boats, and a whole team of dive guides ready to bring the guests to all the beautiful dive sites. We have 2 mud dive sites, and all the rest is walls and coral gardens. So yeah, for those who love to explore all the small little critters in the corals, Moalboal is definitely the place to be. One of the highlights is Pescador, which you can find left below on the dive map, which is actually protected by our local government as well. So the corals are really healthy and is definitely a must-see. But as you could see in the movie already, the sardine run is definitely the highlight of Moalboal. The sardines are here every year, the whole year around. So it's not seasonal, it's not a specific month of the year. They are here every day, and it's just amazing to see. And further, yeah, critters, I mentioned it already. Pygmy seahorses, frogfishes, you name it. We have it all in Moalboal. But we also have big stuff, turtles, lots of turtles. Treasure sharks are sometimes seen, and of course, whale sharks passing by. But for those who are not so lucky during a regular dive, we organize day trips to Oslo, where you can dive and snorkel with friendly giants. We are actually one of the not so many resorts who are allowed to dive with them as well. So it's a great way to experience an interaction with these friendly giants. It's a day trip completely organized by ourselves. We bring our own stuff, our own dive masters, etc. And you can just enjoy a day with the whale sharks. But for those who would like to have a day without a dive tank on their backs, we do have some on-land day trips as well. For example, a day trip to the Kawasan waterfalls. Kawasan waterfalls are probably one of the most popular waterfalls in the whole of the country. And we can do an adventurous canyoneering or just relaxing, some swimming, and just enjoying the view. So yeah, for those, also for non-divers, Moalboal has a lot to offer. So yeah, to keep within my 15 minutes, I'm gonna swap back to the map, and now I'm gonna bring you to the southeast of Bohol, to the little town of Anda. There are 2 ways to get to Anda, which is either by the international airport in Panglao, which is 1.5-hour drive, or you can arrive in Cebu City, take the ferry, and drive to Anda. Wherever you come from, we can arrange a private transfer, and we will take care of a smooth transfer to our resort. And then you end up here in the small, secluded paradise of this beautiful island of Bohol. As you can see here, we barely have any neighbors. So if you would like to feel like you're the only diver in the world, this is the place to be. So a little close-up, magic oceans, 16 bungalows, so slightly bigger and newer than the other resort in Moalboal, but everything that you need is there. So before I continue talking, let's have a small look at the video.
If I open my eyes, I can see the skies. I can see the sky. See the sky. See the sky. Watch
Yeah, I'm stuck in Moalboal at the moment, but if I see videos like this, I can't wait to go over to Bohol again, because it's just an amazing island. So back to Magic Oceans. Like I said, 16 bungalows, slightly bigger than our Moalboal property, but everything that you need is there. So if you have a look in the bungalows, the standard setup of the bungalow is a king-size bed, a couch that can be set up as an extra bed, a split silent aircon, of course, a private bathroom. The special thing about this resort is that you will have your own router to guarantee a good internet connection during your stay. And further, you can find a fridge, toiletries, etc. So on the resort itself, everything is there. You have a pool, a bar, a restaurant, a man-made beach, a new pier, but on top we have a spa, which is brand new, opened last year, for some relaxation between or after your dives. We have complete packages available for pedicure, manicure, several kinds of massages for couple or solo, and we have a yoga instructor available for those who would like to have some on-land exercise. But yeah, also in this part, most important is of course the dive center. The dive center is really spacious. At both resorts, also in Moalboal, all the guests will have their own spot to hang their dive gear. So no more searching for dive gear or no more movements with BCDs around. You will have your own spot and it will be there the whole stay. On top, we have a camera area for the underwater photographers. And of course, some posters with a sneak preview about what to expect on the water. So talking about underwater, Anda, how to describe Anda? Anda has everything. So for those who don't like mud diving, for those who prefer to have mangroves, we have everything here, from coral gardens and walls to slopey sandy areas, to mangroves and to small little caves. We have almost 30 dive sites within 40 minutes from our resort. So it's definitely a little paradise. And like I said already, there are not so many other divers in this area. We don't have a lot of neighbors. I think we have only 2 other dive centers along the coast. So you will see the condition of the corals are amazing. They're incredibly healthy, colorful, and big. For example, this sea fan is easily 3 meters or 6 feet long. So it's incredible, and you will see plenty of those during a regular dive. So of course, in the sea fan, you will see this cute Bragyvanti pygmy seahorse, for example, but we have so much more. If you would like to have a little bit bigger, seahorses slightly bigger, octopus, flamboyant cuttlefish, blue-ringed octopus, you name it. We have Anda as a critter paradise, and from each critter we have loads of different species. So it's definitely a critter paradise, and you will see plenty of those. It's the same as frogfish. You name a kind of frogfish and you can find it here in Anda. Also nudibranch. Nudibranch is not, well, it's disputable, but officially not really a critter, but we have plenty of those as well. We stopped counting at the 300 kind because there are loads of them. So for the macro lovers, Anda is really the place to be. But we also have big stuff. This is a big school of jackfish. It's almost like the sardine run, but then with jackfish instead of sardines. And are here as well every day, the whole year around. Our standard dive schedule at both resorts is every day the same. The boat leaves at 8:30 in the morning for 2 boat dives. Then the boat head back to the resort for lunch, and we will have a 3rd boat dive in the afternoon around 2:30. On request, we can organize a night dive or even a black water dive. If you would like to have pictures made like this, we can organize that as well. So it gives a complete other dimension of the diving during the day. Yeah, so for those, night dive or black water dive can be arranged without any extra costs. And then whale sharks. Also in Bohol, you will see, it's really likely you will see a whale shark during your regular dive. But we do have a secret spot on Bohol, which is not Oslo, but where you can have an interaction with the whale sharks as well to make either a dive or a snorkel. And for those who are not diving or a little bit tired of diving, You saw it already in the presentation that was ahead of me. Bohol is a beautiful, beautiful island and a lot to see and a lot to explore. From adventurous zip lining and quad riding to some sightseeing, the chocolate hills, rice fields, and of course the Taché. So yeah, definitely an island you will need to visit during a vacation in the Philippines. So yeah, that's the end of my presentation. I would like to thank you all for being here with me. I can tell a lot more, so I might miss some important information. Just use the Q&A session if you have any questions for me left. So for now, thank you very much and stay safe.
Thank you very much for sharing the videos and presentations. To be completely honest, I've been to Moalboal several times, but you know what? I did not know how much macro and wide angle opportunities you guys have. I've been to Moalboal for the sardine run, and you know what? I just learned about all of these right now, so I'm definitely coming back. So I actually have some questions for you, but we're going to save them for the end of the presentation during the Q&A. And I'd like to remind everyone, if you guys have more questions, just type them up, or if you want to type them a little later, just remember them and we'll be addressing that. But before we answer your questions, we're going to move on to less of tourism, but more of dive education. And, you know, we all want to learn. And I think that Central Visayas is also the perfect place. So may I present our next speaker. He is the PADI Course Director, CEO and founder. May we call on Jong Lee.
Okay, hi. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jong from South Korea. I'm the diver and owner of Oceanplayer, which is located in Mactan. And Oceanplayer has been running 10 years. I'm going to briefing about the Mactan diving and what is the benefit for Mactan diving. So let's go in my slide. I'm very happy to meet you all here, and also very honored to have an opportunity to introduce the amazing Mactan Dive site to you on behalf of Mactan Dive Center. We couldn't enjoy our dive in 2020 because of a pandemic. Hopefully this year, 2021, should be different. And 2021, it's a time to dive in Mactan and Cebu. I highly recommend booking the flight ticket to Mactan for next your diving trip. There are 5 important reasons you should come and dive Mactan this year. First is easy accessibility, and second is the hub of diving in the Visaya area, and wide choice of a training, specialized diving shop, and optimization area of a technical diving. Also, many different kind of activity are available here after diving or on your vacation. Okay, let's have a look more detail. Number of flight. There are 2 main islands in Cebu, Mactan and Cebu City. Cebu International Airport is in Mactan, where most dive centers are located. Before pandemic, there were almost 10 flights every day to Cebu from South Korea, which means Cebu is really famous for Korean divers and tourists. It's not only Korean divers. From other Asian countries to Cebu, they can easily get the chance to come, and also you can transfer Manila to Cebu. Also, from airport to dive center in Mactan, it only take 20 to 30 minutes by car. It's very near. So you can book in the morning and take a plane in the afternoon, and you can go diving even next in the morning. And number 2 is the hub of diving in the Visaya area. This is already mentioned by Regional Director Tamano. Cebu is the hub of Bisaya area. Bisaya has many beautiful diving spots. To go other area like Bohol, Moalboal, Malapascua, you need to come Mactan first, or you can come to the Manila also. Mactan is a good place to short diving before and after your diving trip. Of course, it has a lot of hidden diving spots for you diving, adventure, and passion. And number 3, why choice of training specialized diving shop? There are many training dive shops in Mactan, and instructors, also trainer and course director available for divers who want to start diving or continue training with easy access. It has an advantage of being able to receive education while customizing vacation and leisure with sufficient accommodation in Mactan Island. There are many diving center and dive resort where you can train from PADI instructor or other agency instructor. Also, instructor development course or also the technical diving course. And optimization area of technical diving. This time, many divers looking for new course include the technical diving course for experienced diver. Mactan is easily accessible from depths of 50 to 100 meter depths, only 10 to 15 minutes by boat. And supply oxygen and helium gas is very easy. There are many outstanding technical instructors already, and for emergency situation, the recompression chamber is very near from the DOT. So everything is under control and very easy. And last is various additional activity after diving. Actually, Mactan has a lot of luxury resort, also medium-sized resort, also different kind of spa. There are various, for your relaxed choice, you can enjoy tour package or hotel with a reasonable price and also massage, which indispensable for travel to Southeast Asia can ready for you. For active choice, a variety of water activities available here, like water skiing or banana or parasailing and something else. And also you can visit the SMC site or Ayala Mall, which are great shopping or spending time after diving. Especially SMC site shopping mall is the biggest mall in Cebu. Yeah, this is what is a good site for Mactan diving and why you should come to Mactan and enjoy diving. And I'm going to short briefing about my shop, like Oceanplayer. Oceanplayer is a PADI 5-star IDC resort and PADI Instructor Development Center, also Technical Diving Center. Over the year, we proceeded the largest certified diver in Philippines, especially PADI. Also, GUE course or some other technical and rebreather course is available here. Along the local government and Philippine Tourism Office, they are actively engaged in activity for preserve the marine environment in the region. This is a short video. Like same clip like Tamano showing us.
We have to preserve our environment. I welcome you being the chairman of Committee on Environment of the Pulapu City. Welcome.
So we are keep waiting for our international divers, and we are keep protecting our beautiful Mactan Ocean. Also, we are following the quarantine protocol and like a health protocol provided the Philippine Tourism Organization. So everything under control. So we are just waiting for international flight. It's open. So this is a last clip. This is like a drone shot for 3 beautiful islands in Mactan. This is the Hinatuman Island. This is the Narita Island. This is the water there. Mactan has a huge trouble. Okay, so I hope this year I want to meet more diver and also teaching the more diving education. So everything we gonna okay and see you in Philippines, also in Mactan.
Thank you very much for sharing.
I'll hand over Vanessa. Thank you,
Yes.
Vanessa.
Yes, no, thank you so much. I've been to Mactan several times as well. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to go scuba diving, but I have been there visiting with my friends and family, and it's definitely a beautiful place. And hopefully next time I get to go scuba diving there as well.
Right. Because someone think the Mactan is a not great dive point, but we have a great diving site and a lot of sea creatures, so easy access.
Yes.
Everything is very
Exactly.
Yes.
And especially that Mactan is an international airport, it's very perfect for tourists to come in and fly there and go
That's right.
scuba diving, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So actually, again, I'd like to acknowledge the regional director, Director Tamano is here. He is the regional director of Central Visayas. We have two representatives, Cynthia from Magic Island and Jong from PADI and Mactan. We will now open the floor to a Q&A. We only have about 10 to 15 minutes, but we would really love to hear from you. Actually, I have a first question already here, and I'd like to ask both Jung and Cynthia, do you have cave diving there within 40 meters? And if you do you provide dive guides for cave diving? Thank you.
Who's first?
Cynthia, you can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Moalboal does not really have caves, or not like you really need to have a technical dive course. So it's really easy. We only have a small little cave in Pescador, but it's not going really deep. So I'm assuming this person is really looking into real cave diving. Unfortunately, Moalboal does not really have it. Bohol, we are still exploring all the caves around, because Anda is not really well known on the divers, so there is much more to explore than that we know of. So yeah, there might be, but not yet.
Okay. What about you, Jung?
Actually, there in Mactan there is a one cave diving area, and we did some training there as a cave diver. But sadly, the lot owner of the small spring is already blocked the pan. So since last year, we couldn't dive in. We couldn't use that cable system. But we have. Actually, we have. It's a shore systems, and some Filipino instructor or some cable instructor will guide you if you have a certification or if you want to join the class.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. So, Amanda, for your questions for cave diving, I hope we were able to answer that, and hopefully you can get in touch with Jong if you're interested in trying that in Mactan. Now, I actually have a question for a regional director or any of the speakers. During this time of pandemic, what are the requirements for the guests to go travel to your locations? I think we can hear from. Oh, sorry, we unmute for a bit.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. We were in Darwin last week to assist the local government and our stakeholders in drafting protocols for travel, health, and diving protocols. It is now under what is this drafting stage. We also will assist the government of Sikihor and the stakeholders in drafting travel, health, and diving protocols. Darwin plans to open up to the domestic market. But Darwin plans to open up to the domestic market. Panglao is already open to the domestic market. As you know, in Central Visayas, we are planning to brand it or sub-brand it as Dive 7. 7 refers to the number of the region, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are region 7, and also it can refer to the 7 big dive sites in the region. So La Pascua, Mactan, Moalboal, Panglao, Darwin, Cabilao, Sikihor. It can refer to the 7. Now, we also work together with the province of Cebu, where Malapascua, a part of Mactan, which is Cordova, and Moalboal is part of. And we made strict protocols in regards diving. The mouthpiece. Use UV rays to clean the dive equipment, the masks, the suit should be cleaned using technology. Panglao, I was there last Christmas. I spent 5 days there. I went diving, and happily we had some divers from Manila and even from Anilao, Batangas, who visited our dive operators in Alona Beach, and as you know, Balikasag is a world famous dive site in the region and all over the world. Thank you.
I think based on the list of CEO of the net will also be joining.
Our question would be, if you mentioned locations would open, may I ask what protocols are required of the guests to fulfill before entering, if there are so?
Well, like the usual protocols, we require PCR 72 hours before. We require the local government to accept our visitors. That's what they do in Panglao and in Bohol. That's what they will do probably most likely in Darwin also. And in Sikihor, when they open, they will also probably most likely do that, because we are part of the team that drafts really these protocols. And in our protocols, we would include even emergencies. In case someone gets the virus in the middle of the travel, who picks her up at the resort? Will it be the ambulance of the municipality, ambulance of the hospital, who will pay for the hospital expenses just in case? And we want our visitors to arrive at the resort safely and to go back to their homes safely and without any obstruction and without any hassle.
Thank you very much. That's very helpful for us, especially those trying to plan our trips in the next few long weekends in 2021, and for the guests and participants that have been trying to learn more on the different destinations. Now, may I ask the 2 dive operators over here, what are the local protocols you're doing for or preparing for during this pandemic to accept guests once again? Maybe we can start with Jung.
Yeah. Actually, the we are located in Lapu-Lapu City, Mactan, and who travel from the Cebu city, they actually they don't need any requirement. If just they can visit and they are just following the dive shop the protocol. What from the PCSS they provide already the protocol for scuba diving shop, but from Manila or like a Bohol or other island, I recommend is first before they are flight or before they are booking, they have to check the airline office so they know very exactly or airport office. So we can find in Facebook so what all the requirement like a travel pass or PCR test, everything, and once they are arrive here and we can handle as a diving shop protocol. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. What about you, Cynthia?
Yeah, well, Moalboal is quite easy. All the people around Cebu province can just easily travel around, and it's the same for Bohol. Inter-island travel can be a little bit of hustle, so we advise to get advised by the local LGU for the requirements. The resorts itself, we are fully operational at the moment with the protocol in place. So hand sanitizers, disinfection of the rooms, check in and check out without physical contact, social distancing, no family style dinner with several households. So yeah, we are COVID proof at the moment. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. Actually, I'd like to ask you a little more. What are the different ways to reach Moalboal, especially now during this, time of pandemic, or while people are trying to plan trips, knowing now that you guys are open for tourism? Sorry, for Cynthia, yes, because for
okay. Sorry, can you repeat your question one more time?
Yes. What are the different ways to travel to Moalboal, perhaps from Manila, let's say, or from international guests who are planning to hopefully come into the Philippines soon?
Yeah, well, like it's heard already, you need to have a 72-hour swab test, and as soon as the flight is going here, it's completely open. And once arrived in Cebu, you can just travel around without any special requirements. So yeah, this swab test is the most difficult part for most people. So that's the biggest hustle at the moment for people who would like to come from Manila or. And on top, we also have the ferry schedule, which is a little bit different than what we are used to, for example, ocean jet. So it's possible, but it takes a little bit more preparation to, make sure that everything is there that you need.
Okay, thank you for that. And for the guests who are trying to plan a trip to Mactan or Moalboal, you may reach out to our two speakers and book your trip. If you have more questions or, if you need some assistance on the transfers, then definitely, I'm sure they can share these requirements with you and, arrange this for you as well. Now, I have another question for you guys, both. Maybe we can start with Jung once again and then follow with Cynthia. What are your recommended seasons or the best time to visit your specific location? Okay, Jung, you can go ahead.
In the Visayas area, the good season is like a summer season in Philippines, starting from March or April until before typhoon season, like June. So great visibility and good tidal current and a lot of fish. But as I mentioned, the Mactan is very specialized for training diving. So actually, season is not important. So anytime the instructor and instructor trainer stand by here, so just book your trip and hope diving with you soon and training also.
Perfect.
Yeah. No seasonal fishes here. Just without typhoons, all the way we can diving and we can enjoy diving here.
The whole year. Okay, that's so good to hear. How about you, Cynthia? What do you think?
I think the really nice thing about the Visayas is that the weather is mild the whole year around. So typhoon season is there, but even Moalboal and Anda are not really hit that hard. So Yeah, you can talk about water temperatures. We have, like, of course, the weather is the water temperature is warmer during certain months of the year, or the on-land temperatures. But luckily enough, the weather is mild, and we cannot avoid a rain shower. We are still in the tropics, but the good thing is that it's still more than 23 degrees Celsius on land and in the water. So yeah, best season, it's hard. It can change every year as well. That's what I experienced the last few years that I'm here. So yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for answering that. We actually just have about 4 minutes left. If anyone else has further questions, anyone? None, actually. Okay, so perhaps we could wrap up this talk a little earlier, maybe a few minutes earlier, because at 2:30 p.m. we have another one. And I would like to invite everyone to join. We will be focusing on Malapascua at 2:30. So we hope to see you there. And we would like again to thank our speakers. Cynthia, Jong, thank you very much. And thank you so much, Director, for joining us. And we've learned so much, and we hope to see you very soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
This is
Thank
the
you.
executive plans and programs of TPP Marcom. So we have